Hi, David Payne here from Twinwoods Adventure. So I'm just going to interview Roy Castleman, who's the director, and he can tell us about his journey that he's had. He's got lots of really useful information based around mental health, team building, communication, things that are very much on people's minds at the moment. So there we go. Roy, how are we doing?
How are we doing, David? How are we doing?
Yeah, good. So I just did a little introduction about the fact that you're director of Twinwoods Adventure. What I haven't said is where you are. So do you want to say a little bit about where you are first?
I'm at the Harpenden Hospital to get a CT scan because I need to get put back together for my shoulders, and AC joint is dislocated.
Yeah.
So they're going to do. Oh, sorry. There we go. Drop it. They're going to do a CT scan now and then an operation on the 18th.
Because we were wondering about whether to postpone this interview, but you decided you wanted to go ahead with it, didn't you? Why was that?
Well, yeah, it's a very important subject. It's also it's quite timely and quite of the problem we're having. I'm sitting here in a hospital with a face mask on, having a conversation on a Zoom call. So yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, indeed. So you've been doing a lot based around mental health, communication, team building, basically trying to fix right working for the world. So just want to say a little bit about your mission, Roy, and why why you are who you are.
Yeah. Well, just a little bit of history. I run obviously Twinwoods Adventure. I also run 3 IT companies in the city, a CBD company, and a range of other smaller companies. And over the last 2 years, I've really struggled with actually what to do with my staff, how to get myself in the right mental place, how to get my staff in the right mental place. And then what's the right thing for us to do as managers and owners? What's our responsibility to make sure that people are actually okay mental health wise? And we spent a lot of time. I spent a huge amount of effort in trying to understand what that is. And the last 6 months have been great for us as a team. We've learned so much. We've got so much further forward. And we are looking at these 3 pillars of what we do. Communication. Communication is key. Team building. And that all just makes the mental health much more sensible and much more easy to get at least partially right. Yeah.
It does. So should we delve into mental health first? Because that, if I'm reading you correctly, that's really the piece which underpins everything, isn't it? That's what the problem that people want to solve is the thing they've got the most challenges at the moment. And there's obviously vehicles for doing that, like better communication, better team building. But it all comes down to having, sound mind, sound body to begin with. What's your views around mental health, first of all?
Well, I mean, firstly, I in the beginning of 2020, January 2020, I found an article. I believe it was in Deloitte or Forbes, one of the big players, and they cited that the UK had lost 45 billion pounds due to mental health in 2019. Okay, and then over and above that, so that works out to 1,700 pounds per working person, okay, per year, right? So over and above that, we then got to October. That was before COVID, BC. We call it before COVID. And that then by October, on the 15th of October, I saw another article from the Mental Health UK, and they said in 2020 it was already 105 billion pounds. Okay, and we as organisations, we now have a massive challenge to make sure our staff are protected from this. It's no longer good enough to just say, oh, okay, well, yes, we'll get a mental health first aider in. We actually have to do something. And if we can do something, we can't just go and say, right, here's a counsellor. That's not fair either. We have to change who we are, how we're working, what we're doing, and from that basis, we give a solid journey for our staff. First of all, are they communicating properly? Yes, they're communicating properly. Great. People are going to come out of this with massive mental health problems. So what is the journey for them? So we make sure we give them a solid place to work. We give them all the support we can, but then we also give them some mental health tools to work with, and a good journey to get the help they need if they do need that. And as managers and as operations people, we need to be watching out for those symptoms because while there's some people that'll be shouting and screaming and crying, there's also a lot of people that'll just keep quiet. And before you know it, they'll be gone. And that's nobody wants that on their team. Nobody wants that for anybody. We're all here to do the positive things and do the right things. So I just think unless we talk about mental health, unless we actually say something about it, we're just not going to get to the place we need to. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix with the world's remote working. Yeah, and we're going to fix the families being lonely, and we're going to make this, make 2021 something that we can all be proud of.
Because you're not talking about a fix here after. You're not talking like a plaster that you put on the end when it's already gone wrong, when it's already too late. What we're talking about here is something much more systematic that, you know, is proactive. You put things in place every day to secure people's well-being, give them the tools that they need to survive. You don't wait until it's gone wrong and then suddenly say, oh, come and do this course or come and see this therapist. It's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot more proactive than that. So what's your view on that general approach, Roy?
Well, I think that's exactly it. We can't just say mental health and pay lip service. We have to go and look into the roots of it. We have to look and understand people, understand teams, understand individuals. If we can build a solid, strong individual, he knows what his job is. He understands what he has to do. He knows where his support structures are. Then that'll form the basis of a good team. Okay. While these things seem to not be linked to mental health, trust me, they're massively linked. If I don't know what I'm doing in my job, if I'm sitting at home by myself and no one's checking in on me, and I think I know what I'm doing, and then I get shat on for doing something that I thought I was doing the right thing, that's a downward spiral. And I think a lot of companies are in that situation because they haven't thought through everything, because they've just been pushed back to being working remotely. Those systems aren't in place anymore. Everything is going forward and at a rate of knots, where there's change. And one of the biggest things I've noticed, I've been doing business for 25 years in the UK. One of the biggest things I've noticed is 85%, 90% of people do not like change. Okay. And nobody's talking about the massive change that everyone's having at the moment.
No, so, indeed. And this definitely identified the issue that lots of people are aware with. It would probably be quite useful here to share some useful insights with people, because many people are going to be watching this and thinking, so those are the issues they identify with exactly what you just said. But what are people doing about that? And I was just wondering if you could just give a taste of some ideas of the things that you're doing within your own company that are making a really big difference right now to people's well-being.
Yeah. So we're testing all sorts of stuff. I think my staff think I'm a bit crazy. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure they think I'm a bit crazy. So we've been testing a range of things. I mean, we started off initially with the team building exercises, and for us initially that just meant we'll give them an escape room, we'll put them on something, do something, and that's fun. And then we've evolved that now. So that evolution is around our communication matrix. It's around our core values. Our core values very much lead into how we live our lives. And the primary one there is we care. We care and we grow. So if we care about our staffs and we care about where they're working, we have to show that we care. We have to believe we care. We have to live by it. So we're talking now at the moment. I'll just give you the current situation. We have a once a month mental health chat from Howard. Howard does amazing stuff with us. He kind of gives tools and things for mental health. He's not a counselor, but he breaks it all down and he gives it into bite-sized pieces that people can actually digest. And we then have a range of different options that people can go to after that if they are still suffering. GP calls, mental health calls on video. But more importantly, though, we're starting to look at every day what can we do. So at the moment we're having this great thing. We're working on breathing exercises with the team in the morning. So we get at 7 o'clock in the morning or at lunchtime. We do breathing exercise. We do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation. And that's we're breathing life into the team. It really is. You're breathing life into the team. I mean, you're on some of those with us in the morning, David. How are you finding it?
It's unbelievable. It's just such an amazing way to start the day. It's such a small thing. And we were having a conversation early this morning, weren't we, about if everybody did that, can you imagine what the company would be like if everybody started the day in that way? If everybody started with the breathing exercises, got their head straight through meditation, did a bit of stretching, exercise, whatever, just sets them up for the day. And it makes it so much more productive. I think some companies might feel, well, that's a waste of time. We haven't got half an hour to do that. But actually spending half an hour to do that, to get the mind straight of all your employees, just makes them so more productive for the rest of the day, and it actually makes things more effective in the end. So no, I've already seen the benefits of it. It's been amazing.
And this is a learning process. This is an evolving learning process. We're lucky in that I've got a range of different experience that I can bring to the party. From different companies. For example, Body Flight or Twinwoods Adventure. That we've had a lot of people furloughed. On the IT company side, we haven't had anyone furloughed. Yeah, so I'm looking at both sides of the equation and saying, okay, what are the various types of people in this scenarios dealing with, and I'm having to deal with all of them. Yeah, and my team's come together amazingly. Yeah, everyone's in the right place, and yeah, I think this is the way forward. We just have to embrace mental health, yeah, embrace communications, and embrace team building, and make the world a better place to work.
And you are actually perfectly placed to make that difference because of the experience that you've had. Obviously, you've got the IT side of things, so you're very au fait with working in the remote world, the virtual world. You've got the adventure company side of things, which was in the real world effectively, where people would come and do these events on site with you, like skydiving and climbing and escape rooms. But now you've managed to combine that with your IT, and you're now creating these remote experiences. So really, you're able to replace what was missing in the real world. So where people were feeling lonely now because they're stuck at home, you're providing things to make them feel not so lonely. Where they find the communication difficult in the new mechanisms they're using, you're able to put things in place. So you're basically turning it back to how it was before in terms of people's physical and mental state and their effectiveness and productivity. And you're able to do that through all the things that you have at Twinwoods and your IT companies.
And to expand on that a little bit, yeah, I firmly believe that everything we do in the real world, we can replicate on Zoom, Google Teams, Google Meet Teams, or all these platforms. Yeah, we just have to do it, in the right way. So we're talking about one of those team building kind of activities we're talking about, just to give you an idea. When people text each other, you text from an emotional point of view. That depends on your state in the day. So we have a set of 20 people go into a room. Okay, they'll be broken down into separate rooms, 2 rooms of 10. And one room will go through a day where they wake up, they stub their toe, they hit their head on the wall, they kids shouting at them, the dog's just thrown up on the floor. The other room will go through that day where the guy just won the lottery. And the text in between them, you will then go through and understand how people see text. So that's just one way that we can actually say, listen, this is how you should communicate better. And if we take we're relearning the basic communication skills so that we can apply them over a video medium, and get the most out of it, and make people happy. So, yeah.
Definitely. And I know that loneliness as well is on people's minds, and you've come up with a very good initiative for that. Did you want to say anything about helping people's loneliness, beating loneliness?
Yeah, we're going to beat loneliness. The project beat the loneliness. And this is really about how we're going to get various people to connect, come and join us on a Zoom call. We're just looking at securing this now by way of making sure the kids are safe and all the things are properly done. And maybe it'll be bingo for the old age. Maybe it'll be some fun things in the morning, but just giving something back to the community, and just trying to get everyone to start talking over this mechanism that's there. I'm going to have to call it fairly short. I've got about 2 minutes to go. So anything to wrap up?
Maybe just how people can get in touch if they're kind of inspired by what you're doing, and how we can help them. So obviously you've got the team building things going on right now. You've got the communication pieces going on right now. So if people are interested in safeguarding the well-being of their staff, then there's plenty of things that they can do. So what would you advise? So I don't know you, but I need help with mental health of my staff. What do I do?
So either reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to any of my team on LinkedIn at Twinwoods Adventure. By all means, we'll connect up there, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, give us a call at Twinwoods Adventure, twinwoodsadventure.com. The number's on there. Give us a call, and we'll be happy to have a chat with you over Zoom. And see how we can help.
Okay, brilliant. Right, thanks for joining us today, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much, David. All the best. See you later.
Take care. Bye now.